Come sit, come sit.
You all right, Carol?
All is
No,
well.
I'm suicidal. They eat all my tools.
So, we will welcome to the Tibet Center here at 502 North Ridgewood Road.
Let's see what he can
We
do
are
for you.
delighting in the fact that we are feeding the deer.
Spin.
We will begin by reading the prayer for the spreading of the teaching throughout the length and breadth of the West. By the force of the blessings of the non-fallacious three precious gems,
And of the truth of our pure selfless wishes, may the precious Buddhist teachings flourish and spread to the expanse of all areas throughout the length and breadth of the West. For all the people living there, together with their dear ones, who have engaged in the teachings and have faith and respect for them, may all conditions adverse to their practice of the pure Dharma be dispelled, and an excellent collection of favorable conditions increase like the waxing moon. And especially for those who work on methods to accomplish the flourishing and spreading of the victorious one's teachings, which are the source of benefit and happiness, may they never be oppressed by masses of interference and adverse conditions, and may this spontaneously happen just as we have hoped and wished.
The Heart Sutra.
Thus have I heard once, the Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of the Vulture Peak Mountain, together with a big gathering of great monks and great bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One entered the samadhi which examines the dharmas called profound illumination, and at the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara, a bodhisattva, looking at the profound practice of transcendent knowledge, saw the five skandhas and their natural emptiness. Then, through the inspiration of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to Avalokiteshvara, how should those noble ones learn who wish to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge? And Avalokiteshvara answered, Venerable Shariputra, whoever wishes to follow the profound practice of transcendent knowledge should look at it like this, seeing the five skandhas and their natural emptiness. Form is empty, emptiness itself is form. Emptiness is not separate from form, form is not separate from emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discriminating awareness, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Thus, all the dharmas are empty and have no characteristics. They are unborn and unceasing. They are not impure or pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, since there is emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discriminating awareness, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no objects of mind, no quality of sight, no quality of hearing, no quality of smelling, no quality of tasting, no quality of sensing, no quality of thought, no quality of mind consciousness. There are no nidanas from ignorance, old age, and death, nor the wearing out. There is no suffering, no cause of suffering, no ending of suffering, no path, no wisdom, no attainment, no non-attainment. Therefore, since there is no attainment, the bodhisattvas abide by means of transcendent knowledge. And since there is no obscurity of mind, they have no fear. They transcend falsity and pass beyond the bounds of sorrow. All the Buddhas who dwell in the past, present, and future, by means of transcendent knowledge, fully and clearly awaken to unsurpassed, true, complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of transcendent knowledge, the mantra of deep insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering, should be known as truth, for there is no deception. In transcendent knowledge, the mantra is proclaimed, Tayata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisoha. O Shariputra, this is how a Bodhisattva Mahasattva should learn profound transcendent knowledge. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and praised the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, saying, Good, good, O son of noble family, profound, transcendent knowledge should be practiced just as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, Shariputra and Avalokiteshvara, that whole gathering in the world with its gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, their hearts full of joy, praised the words of the Blessed One. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. With the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach full enlightenment. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind intent on full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. As long as space endures, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world.
Let us do one rosary of Om Mani Padme Hum and think of developing the wish to remove the suffering of others. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum.
You bring it? It's in the car.
He said to drink.
You have a new member of the family?
I remember, yeah. Little dog.
See you tomorrow night.
Cool. Amazing.
So, we have been discussing ethics for the new millennium. I wanted to start with, there's a sentence that really jumped out at me in the section.
Ahead, what page?
41.
Keep on.
Our every action, our every deed, word, and thought no matter how slight or inconsequential it may seem, has an implication not only for ourselves but for all others too.
Where is this? Mid-page?
Yeah, it's the last sentence in the top paragraph.
Okay, so it becomes apparent that
What?
it also
41.
becomes apparent that our every action, no matter how slight or
Our every action, our every deed, word, and thought, no matter how slight or inconsequential it may seem, has an implication not only for ourselves but for all others too. Now,
That's the most interesting word, implication, because it's unexpected. Impact maybe, but implication means it has a different perspective.
you get at it not directly, you get at it obliquely from association. It implies.
I think implication here means has an effect on.
But it's a different word. And the whole topic is every word, right? So you have to be careful
Very
with
good.
the words. If that's not what you meant, then that's not what you should say.
Can you say it one more time?
With feeling.
Once more with feeling, please.
So to give you the full sentence, it also becomes apparent, maybe I'll read the sentence before. This in turn suggests that our individual well-being is intimately connected both with that of all others and with the environment within which we live. It also becomes apparent that our every action, our every deed, word, and thought. Now here we have our every deed, our every word, our every thought, no matter how slight or inconsequential it may seem, has an implication not only for ourselves but for all others.
Has an implication.
Well, now to translate that into the words we use, Carol, you have to. I apologize for the fact that I'm bringing it to a different tone or whatever. Our every deed, our every action. Now, action, the Tibetan word for action is le, which means karma. And so our karma, our actions in that sense, and our actions are actions of body, speech, and mind. So every deed, word, and thought, no matter how slight or inconsequential it may seem, has an implication. And here I think that implication means effect, has an effect.
That's it.
Hmm?
It's a future effect. If you're saying implication, it's you did something, something's gonna happen.
But
Not
also,
not immediately.
Isn't it also a judgment from the outside? I mean, isn't it as if somebody's looking at it and assessing it as like an environment or as a thing, and they're saying there's an implication if you're looking at it, there's an implication, not just an impact. Like in other words, you know the future. You know the end of the story.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know what implication really means.
It
Well-
means effect.
Not really, not implying
It's-
negative.
it's-
Remember that the
There's-
person who wrote this for His Holiness was very British.
Oh,
So you have to
this is
give it
ghosted,
that
in other
particular.
words.
Interesting.
Oh,
But there is a future element to it. It's not an immediate effect.
well, it's
You're
a closed
implying-
system.
It's an implication. It's like if I'm implying something, I'm saying it now, but you're inferring from what I say in the future. And
Well,
so if the
You could
implication
imply
is
that-
that means the action is going to bring.
correct. Yeah, everything we
Can't
do
you-
Right.
now
Has
has
an
an
effect.
effect
Yeah.
on the future.
Can't you can imply something in real time, can't you? If I said something, but what I imply is that then I would
Right.
understand it, but it doesn't mean
It might
has to
take
be
me a
like,
few
The
minutes to
fact that
infer
the
it.
data does not eat
Like,
in the
oh,
daytime.
gosh, when she said that, what,
uh,
that's what she meant.
that's what it
Yeah.
implies.
What's an
It
example?
happens next.
Like if I said, so and so isn't here today, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then you'd go like, oh, okay,
Yeah, what did that
and
mean?
you'd like understand that something
Yeah.
happened, that I'm implying something.
Yeah.
Also,
But that
what,
doesn't mean it's you're
like-
understanding it way later.
Cause and effect, implication and inference,
I
grammatically.
what they
Sorry.
do for
You're making a
implying.
statement of fact, though. You're not
All right, we'll just
implying.
No.
Let's get
No,
back
she
to the
did
topic.
Use
This
the-
implication.
I went,
Implication.
so and so didn't make it today.
Implication
That's a
classically
statement of fact.
in Buddhism is
No, but my look was an implication.
No,
Oh,
like
the
you
look
could be,
was in it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, something
But-
like that. But maybe we're getting
fact
off
that the
track.
data
What
does
you're
not
saying-
eat at
she was-
night.
she was
Also.
feeling sick. I'm implying
No,
something else,
No.
you know.
So,
Never mind.
what are you implying? So, may I request that we
Go with the word.
Not talk about this.
cause
Step
Has-
into Bill.
has an effect.
That's an effect.
Okay.
Alright, so that's that.
All right. Every action, our every deed, word, and thought, no matter how slight or inconsequential it may seem, has an effect not only on ourselves, but for all others too. Now, this is the point of this sentence is for us to acknowledge the degree to which we are responsible and must assume responsibility for
Yeah.
The whole.
the whole. Yes.
WH.
Now, what's the whole again? We have the.
WH as Anthony Spina here.
So we have the whole means something
Everything.
three-dimensional.
Everything.
Entirety.
Entirety.
Yes.
So what in our mind, we're responsible for the entirety of our
Our
perception.
our actions of body, speech, and mind
Yes.
are responsible for
We are
all
responsible for individuals.
our actions.
Yes.
Not we are responsible. Our actions are responsible for
Or mental actions. Affect the whole.
Well,
In other words, there's no.
okay.
or have implications. In other words, have some effect, have some not only on ourselves but on all. Sorry.
On everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
part of a whole. You can't get out.
Yeah.
And
That's
this
it.
is really of
So-
enormous. You know, if we're
It's a
sitting
big
here,
deal.
the reason that we're sitting here at the Tibet Center is to figure out how we can, in some way, affect in a positive way our own happiness and the happiness of all. Right?
Agreed.
This
I mean-
legitimizes all the prayers we say. I wish this, I wish that.
Well, it
It's an action of mind
justifies.
and verbal.
Justifies
Le-
them.
Justifies,
Well, I don't-
legitimizes, whatever you want.
Legitimize? Well,
I don't know. I just
No, let's
don't know.
pass it by Carol.
So you could, no, but you could
Legitimize.
argue it by doing the converse. If somebody were to deny that what they
That's
said
very
or
sharp.
did or whatever had an impact on someone else, that would be untrue, but perhaps disingenuous or ignorant. I mean, you have to acknowledge that we're all connected.
Well, yes, but I mean, here, what this sentence is doing is helping us to assume responsibility for all that is happening in the world, all that is happening within existence, and that there's no limit to this. There's no suggestion of there being a limit. It's not that we have full responsibility for, or that our actions have full effects or implications, but we have some kind of effect. Our actions have some kind of effect
Well,
on.
what did they say in the next paragraph? Is there a therefore?
Furthermore,
Furthermore. That's you.
Darren, I think it might be too loud. Yeah, no worries.
Furthermore, well, we can go on, but we should probably go back. Because I think
Yeah,
that,
he talks biology. How does this help us on the other page? We could start there. Or maybe even sooner.
so what His Holiness has been discussing up to now are the different ways in which things exist interdependently. And there is the existence of phenomena as being the result of causes, and when we view things and when we view situations as being the result of causes, suddenly the very solid way in which we perceive them begins to break down. We're sort of acknowledging let's say a moving dynamic to existence.
Dependencies.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but dependence, there are different kinds of dependence. There's the dependence of cause and effect, and then there's the dependence of something and its parts.
Okay.
And the consciousness.
And then you have one view in Buddhism, which is it's called the mind-only school, where everything exists as being of one nature with the consciousness apprehending it, and so that I and the rosary that I am perceiving, my consciousness and the rosary that I am perceiving are of one nature. So that everything, this school really brings into being the whole notion of my meriting to see this, my having the karma to see this, my past actions manifesting in the present.
Brought you to this position where you can have these experiences.
Yeah, and you are sitting there and you are seeing a rosary sitting on the table here. But the rosary that you are seeing is the rosary that you are seeing is of one nature with your consciousness, your eye apprehension of the rosary. We happen to share this apprehension of a rosary. You too, if you look here,
Because we see it.
because
So
you see
our
it.
eye consciousness is the same in that respect.
All right, you have to be very careful of the word. I'll say yes to that. Our karma, we have this sort of shared karma of deserving to see a rosary, and at this very moment,
Okay,
because
but
of
now
your
you're going to another level there.
no, but it's very important.
What you say is true. I don't.
What's it to another level for you? Is it a
Well,
word?
because we're no longer talking about perception.
we are.
Well, okay, but we're talking about karma that implies some kind of a background.
Yes, but all perception is the result of past perceptions. All perception,
Okay, all right, fair enough.
and
Oh, thank you.
the fact that we are sitting here in this room together,
Yes.
we have whatever it is that leads us to coming
Yes.
to this
We
room,
have the
and
karma. Yes.
we there's a shared quality that the fact that
Agreed.
the six of us are here,
Agreed.
and Darren is there.
Yes.
We've all come here as the result of totally different karma. I mean, each one of us has come here through a different route. Darren, I'm so glad you come.
Anyway, the paragraph before, how does this help us, explains So, and he also used the word implication there, so you can pay, on the bottom paragraphs on page 40. So when, not now, you're reading next.
How does this help us?
Yeah.
What is the value of these observations? So we have to go back further to see what.
They have a number of important implications. Let's see.
How much free will do we have to be responsible for changing the powerful stream of personal and collective karma we're embedded in? So, yes, this is a very important question being asked in respect to the statement that we began discussing. How much free will do we have to be... Now, free will is a tough one. I don't know how much free will we have.
Yeah.
What we do have is we have a responsibility to work towards aiming, what, if we want to call it free will, let's call it free will, aiming our will in a positive direction. And the more effort we make, the more the results will be positive.
Trango Rinpoche said that. We had this free will discussion maybe in December or January, you were here, but same thing. We have, like exactly the way you said it, we have the will to do this or that. And there is, so it's not like we're tossed around when we can't do anything.
Well, we are tossed around, but we do have the responsibility to make use of whatever discipline we can muster to aim things, and the result of that will be our happiness and the happiness of those around us. So, how much free will do we have to be responsible for changing the powerful stream of personal and collective karma we're embedded in? Now, so the person has mentioned both personal and collective karma. So, in respect to the concept of collective karma is dangerous because actually collective karma is just a collection of individual personal karmas. And, you know, we may all have the collective karma to be sitting here tonight, but each of us has his or her individual karmas that have caused us to be here. And that's the part that we have control over. We have no control over collective karma.
Everyone else is right. That makes sense.
How much free will do we have? So free will, to be technical, on some level, one would have to acknowledge that our mental tendencies are habits. And what we can do is work towards ameliorating or improving the stream of those mental habits in a positive way.
Meaning that we encourage more positive thought, or that we just don't have habits?
No, that
Have positive habits.
we work towards having positive habits.
You harness habit power.
Yeah. But, you know, there are those who would say, yes, but the degree to which you do that is determined by your past actions, and so you're a prisoner of that.
Yeah.
Yes, but nonetheless, what we have to work at is...
Why is that? Why would somebody think that?
So there is the argument that given that we are in the present moment the result of our past actions, do we have the freedom of will to make a choice other than whatever it is that we are naturally going to take?
Well, the words that are being used in this conversation and the perspective is a little bit different than, I mean, like you used the word responsibility, right?
Uh-huh.
And to me, a responsibility implies it's something that I owe to somebody outside myself. Responsibility is I don't understand that. And I would use the word virtuous versus positive, because at every moment you could make a decision to take a virtuous path, whatever's in front of you. So it's not like you have to be positive, you just have to make sure that your action, words, and whatever, that you're being virtuous and that your intention is correct. But I do that because I've decided that that's the right thing to do, not because I feel a responsibility to anybody.
Well, you can, as a result of feeling that that's the right thing to do, and as you assume some kind of
I took a decision.
then you may also assume a feeling of responsibility towards those around you, not in a heavy way, but it's just like feel the need to maintain the positive or virtuous tendency.
But I do it because it's
Well,
virtuous. I don't do it because
It's virtuous gives a positive result, according to Buddhism. Maybe they're lying.
Why would you not want to have a responsibility toward others to be virtuous?
Or why wouldn't you want to develop a feeling of responsibility?
Because I don't need it. I don't need that to feel. I don't need to feel responsible to behave that way. I behave that way because I've made the decision that that's the way I'm going to be.
Have you basically decided that you wanna be a good person?
Yeah,
Okay, so,
but not because I feel like. It's not like I feel a. It's just a different perspective. I don't, what drives me to do what I do. Yeah, I just.
So, okay, we can take- we
I
can-
chafe at responsibility.
Okay, we can
You
take
had
the-
2 kids, you've already took your responsibility seriously. You're all good. Come
I
on.
think one of the interesting things, going back to the first sentence you read, I think we forget the implications of our thoughts, words, and deeds, and we assume that it's fate, and that fate brought us all into this room. And you really have to realize that it's your thoughts, words, and actions that brought you to this room, not some nebulous, I can't control it, fate. So your free will, you always have free will. Every moment is a new moment, and you always get to make a decision. So you have to realize the implication of your actions is going to create a better future.
or worse.
Well,
If that's your goal.
if we're trying to be virtuous,
Yes. So
So-
that's
it's
why,
like,
that's why, once you've made the very base, if it's the very basis, if it's just the one little thing that you hang on to, then you don't really need to remember a lot of other little rules, right? Because there's that dependency throughout. And it just, when you can get to that point where you can just make those decisions,
yeah.
which side of the virtuosity it falls on.
But when you say when you get to that point where you can make those decisions, I think Thomas is suggesting that we are at that point. Every one of us is always at that point. Yes?
Mhm.
People don't realize it though.
Don't realize it, but we are. And one of the reasons for discussing this is to engender in ourselves an awareness of the fact that we are. And you have fed the deer, and I thank you.
The stupid deer
Well,
that you call, that's light. I would have said, well,
You know,
But also-
and it's a funny thing because I was hanging on to wanting to see the colors come up, and
But they're here, nothing was destroyed.
they ate every single bulb.
Really?
Oh, they
I still
do.
see the green shoots there.
Those aren't the tulips,
Oh, they're not?
and even with the irises, it's like somebody
They just
said,
take that.
yeah, they just went, oh,
Right,
I'll
the
take
buzz
that
gun.
one.
Really?
It's really bizarre.
Who set the table? You.
I set the table, but who sent out the invitations? But anyway, the minute, so you just let
Oh,
go
I
of
thought
it,
those were
right? It
tulips
just
coming
isn't
up.
gonna
I was all
happen.
excited.
No, rejoice in the fact that you fed the deer.
Yeah.
Nah,
Well, gardeners don't see it that way.
no.
No,
I'm
gardeners don't see it that way.
Our
I'm
something
gonna let it
that-
go, but I'm not
our-
You put
rejoicing.
zinnias, they don't eat
vegetables
that.
and your-
teacher
But
always said,
rejoicing
feed
is how
deer.
you solve
Let
the
eat,
problem.
told me,
in the
let eat,
future.
told you. Then
Oh, I don't know.
I had a
about
whole
that.
bunch of roses when I first got here. I didn't realize
Absolutely.
deer
If
eat
you're
roses.
rejoicing and feeding
Farmers don't
somebody
see it
else,
that way either.
that is how.
No, what I
Because-
do in the future is I put up a better fence.
But
I
if you
learned.
if you rejoice in somebody eating the bulbs, then next year if they do the same thing and you rejoice again,
Having a good
that will
time.
make you happier.
Well,
than
I'll put
seeing
something
the
out that
bulbs.
takes less effort.
Or
I don't
seeing the
need to dig and turn. And I'll just put out a big salt lick and a bunch of hay, and I'll say, "Have at it. This is for you."
But what if you want
And
to
capture all
eat
the deer
the
shit.
vegetables you grow? What if you want to eat those carrots?
Then you put up a better fence.
Yeah, you have to, because here, the
That's
deer, like, I bought a lot
problematic.
of roses, that was a big deal, I had them in Queens, but there are no deer in Queens.
Mm.
So I said, oh, we're gonna have a lot of roses. No, they eat everything, down to
Yeah,
the thorns.
nubs.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's that,
So
you
the
learn.
thing is that I'm not against feeding deer, but I don't need to feed them caviar. You know,
I have dahlia bulbs, you want some?
not my thing.
To feed the
25
deer.
watt. They don't eat
I
dahlias.
guess the question is that if you fed them caviar, being upset about it, it's like the choice to either be upset about it or be at peace with the fact that you fed them caviar.
No, it's that feeding them is fine, but I don't put the effort into all that went into having them in the ground and amending the soil and
I remember it was
putting
getting
up the
darker and
fence.
stuff.
But maybe you wouldn't
None
do
of
it
that had anything
again.
to do.
Anyway, let's
Maybe you
continue
wouldn't
with
do
the
it
text.
again, but rejoicing the fact that what did happen doesn't hurt anything. Right? Because it already happened.
What?
Like they ate the bulbs,
Yeah,
and then from now on, you go, I gotta put up a better fence next time.
right.
But then, since it already happened, does rejoicing in it give you a better frame of mind than being upset about it?
It's already gone and I laugh at it, but I'm not rejoicing in it.
Right.
It's ironic and it's, no matter what I did, it was not, I didn't achieve the goal I set out, but I'm not gonna, at this point, lose sleep over it. I was like a little annoyed and it's,
Yeah.
but if my goal is to feed the deer, then I'll feed the deer in an appropriate way. I don't need to,
So, Carol, let's apply this. It becomes apparent that our every action, our every deed, word, and thought, no matter how slight or inconsequential it may seem, has an implication not only for ourselves, but so your thought pattern, our thought pattern in respect to the fact that the deer have eaten the bulbs that we have planted, has an implication, has an effect, has some kind of effect, not only for ourselves, but for all others. So we suddenly have real responsibility to approach each thought, each action of body, speech, and mind in a way that contributes in a positive way. I don't want to say that we have a responsibility, because that's a very dangerous, charged word, but as we work towards developing a more virtuous, what was the word you liked?
virtuous.
Virtuous predisposition, virtuous habituation, whatever, we look for ways to view those situations in a positive way.
Well, I look to just let it go and not focus on it.
Okay, well, let's let it go.
Anyway, so we begin to see, this is only, that the universe we inhabit can be understood in terms of a living organism where each cell works in a balanced cooperation with every other cell to sustain the whole. So the deer eating sustains the whole. If then just one of these cells is harmed, then when disease strikes, the balance is harmed, and there is danger to the whole. He's showing cohesion there. Just the sentences before this it becomes apparent. He did use implication before this. Yeah, it looks like effect, doesn't mean.
So, I happen to think that this sentence is a crucial, fundamental idea for us to bring into our lives and you know, in today's situation in the world, we can put the blame on all sorts of people outside there, but this is talking about the implications not only for ourselves but for all others, and the importance of our working on ourselves. It's not that we have the ability to change the outside world, you know, in the major ways that we might wish to, but our contribution towards change stems from the way we behave physically and mentally and verbally.
Totality. There's those Chinese Buddhist talks of totality. Why how everything. What's the idea behind Indra's net? I
Behind
never
what?
understood that. Indra's net.
Indra's net.
Yes.
That's mythology.
No, it's not mythology. So it's an example that each crystal reflects the whole universe, which reflects the other one, something like that. Remember, Shay told, I didn't understand it at all, but he read it out of a sutra. And then he says, like Indra's net. We'll have to
Now
look
we
it
have
up.
something to look up.
That's right. But anyway, we're not alone. You are not alone.
We're
And you
not
affect
alone.
everyone. Yeah.
But we are, and I am going to use the word responsible. We are responsible for our own actions. We have a certain responsibility. We have to assume responsibility for our actions and for the effects of our actions.
That's the
And
it's our own death.
Wouldn't it be great if everybody, if every person had lived by the Hippocratic Oath? First, do no harm.
it would be great, and our contribution towards bringing that great situation about is,
First, do no harm.
yeah.
Applies to ourselves.
In this moment.
Okay, I have a definition of Indra's net. There's more than one, but okay. Indra's net is a metaphor used to illustrate the concepts of shunyata, emptiness, okay, pratikya, Samudpada, right, dependent origination, yes, and interpretation, and it goes on.
No, but how? The whole point
How?
is,
Well,
yeah.
that,
What is the way in which it demonstrates or illustrates?
no, it doesn't say that. Metaphor's earliest known reference is in the art of Veda.
But if it's a metaphor, we,
Yeah, I don't understand the whole concept. I have to look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
It's homework.
It's
We'll all
cool.
come in next week with
And don't claim the dog ate it. Speak for the weekend.
Indra's net is an infinitely large net owned by the Vedic diva Indra, which hangs over his palace on Mount Meru, the axis mundi of Buddhist and Hindu cosmology. Then it goes on.
No, but keep on going.
Access.
Well, any more?
Yeah, well, you haven't gotten to the point yet.
No.
No, it doesn't. Well, it has to reflect on interconnectedness.
Yes, but that's what the whole, this chapter is dependent origination and the nature of reality. So the nature of reality is interdependence or interconnectedness. And we're exploring interconnectedness. And here, this sentence talks about the interconnectedness of my actions and the world and the vast world within which I live.
Okay, so you reference interest net as an illustration.
Yeah, and how does it illustrate?
You charge yourself off.
Well, then they're asking to read from the sutra.
That's your homework for next week. Homework
Okay,
presentation.
next week, please.
In a rich baritone.
Vatamsaka Sutra.
That's
I
the,
don't stop.
Go
Yeah.
read the book.
That's a big
Mm.
family.
If untold Buddha lands are reduced to atoms, in one atom there are untold lands, as in one, so in each.
Mhm.
The atoms to which these Buddha lands are reduced in an instant are unspeakable, and so are the atoms of continuous reduction moment to moment, going on for untold eons. These atoms contain lands unspeakably many, and the atoms in these lands are even harder to tell of. Now, maybe you can help us with that.
Well, that's simply talking about how you have world systems within world systems
Okay.
within world
Yes.
systems. Yeah, but we still haven't gotten to the interdependent, the way in which the illustration.
Reflects that, I don't understand that. That's something we will have to look up.
So the actual metaphor of Indrasnet is used to refer to all phenomena in the Dharma Dhatu, Dharma
Yeah.
realm, ultimate reality, the ultimate principle. They, Buddhas, know all phenomena come from interdependent origination. They know all world systems exhaustively. They know all the different phenomena in all worlds interrelated in Indrasnet.
So the Buddhas know
Yes,
all of it.
yeah.
And here we're talking about, we are viewing it from our individual points of
Right.
view and assuming or coming to recognize the effect of our actions and thereby cultivating some kind of a feeling of responsibility or feeling of a wish to engage virtuously. Yes? That's okay?
Sure.
You're in it.
Okay.
Don't make a whole
Uh,
Yeah, exactly.
That was a very good example.
It's a long topic that I didn't understand, so I gotta make myself understand.
So,
So what are we, 4
so-
to 1? No.
yeah, but I mean, we discussed
Entertaining the whole
from the
set.
beginning, so just a brief, we've been talking about interdependence. There is interdependence in the sense of a phenomenon is caused, so the effect depends on the cause. And we have to recognize that in order, I just throw this in there to think about, when you talk about a cause and an effect, we say that since the effect is the result of the cause, and within the sort of flow of time, the cause will always be will precede the effect, and the effect depends on the cause. You wouldn't say that the cause depends on the effect, right?
Yes.
However, from a more subtle point of view, you can say that in order for something to be a cause, it has to have an effect. And so, from that point of view, the cause is dependent on the effect.
Yeah.
Definition purposes.
This is Buddhist logic, isn't it?
Yes, this is a more subtle way of viewing cause and effect, recognizing this quality of interdependence. It takes causation, the whole idea of cause and effect, to a slightly more subtle level. So you have,
the cause unless it has an effect.
yes, in the same way that when we talk about,
A cause looking for an effect.
No, that doesn't happen. You wouldn't be called a cause.
I'm a cause looking for an effect.
It's a good song, though. You can work on it. Here we go. Remember,
so you also have the whole and the parts.
Glastonbury.
So the whole depends on the parts.
Yes.
However, you have to say that for something to be a part, there has to be a whole that it's a part of. If not,
Reference.
it's being considered a part is not valid. So there is an interdependence between a whole and its parts, and you have to accept that the parts all are have parts, are the wholes of their parts, and those parts have parts, and those parts. There's no beginning to the process. So the whole idea of a solid entity, if we think like this, is broken down. There can be no actual solid entity separate from.
That's very important for our thinking.
Yeah.
I would think. I know. Oh, that's true. But we assume that right away. I
Well,
always tell myself these things are the cause and this, but then still I directly, operate in the world of inherent existence automatically without prompting. It's very hard to break that.
So, yes, and the way that works, they say, is that since beginningless time, we have a quality of independent existence has appeared to our consciousness.
Mm.
So, though I can think of this pen as having parts, and I can understand that even if I take all the parts apart, there'll be no pen. As soon as I put them together and view them as a pen, there appears to my perception not only the pen, but some kind of inherent or intrinsic penness. And that's...
Well, you've labeled it. That's why it's pen.
But once I've labeled it, it's not that I view it as merely labeled.
Right.
Okay.
It's that a quality of penness appears to my mind. I attribute, this is something that is a quality of ignorance. I attribute, from the Buddhist philosophical point of view, I attribute a quality of intrinsic existence to this.
And that's how you get attached. You get attached to the idea that you already put the camera. Let's use your favorite.
I was trying to.
I know you're trying to avoid it, but go right ahead. We're among friends.
What we're trying to do then is label the pen and recognize that it doesn't have pen quality,
Mhm.
essentially.
And the word near he used.
So we have to know it's
Avoid,
a
like,
functioning object, but
attachment,
it's
I guess.
It's a
not
convention, so we share, we,
Functioning, yeah.
it's a way of sharing and understanding,
right.
but it doesn't mean that we don't understand that it came from parts.
We understand. Listen, I mean, I know that it comes.
The lens, the shutter, we can go on.
Right.
However, there's an idea, let's say,
Sure, of course.
of penness, and it's not just that this is a tool that I can write with and all that. It's that there is this quality, this quality of penness that doesn't exist,
Right.
that appears to my mind. And that's that.
Well, what it actually is more than the pen. It's
That's
More than the pen.
imputation.
well,
That's imputation.
No, no,
not
no.
what the pen-
The imputation. I impute
The penness.
penness.
Okay.
I impute pen to
Yes.
the parts. And on a conventional level, there is a pen that I can write with and all that, but there is no penness.
Mhm.
That doesn't exist. However, penness appears to my mind.
why would you say that penness doesn't? Penness is just a word. Why
No,
would
no,
you
it's
say
more than a
pen-
word.
The way the mind moves on it.
Right,
And
it's like
goes
an
crazy
essence,
over
is
it.
there like an essence that gets created in your
An
mind,
essence.
but
Yeah,
that's actually
yeah.
not real, it's
That's
something
right.
that you've created yourself, yeah.
Yeah,
Essence
and
It is
That's
a
a good
word that encapsulates many characteristics, and I use it so that I don't have to spend 3 days
I don't think the
explaining.
word, I don't think pen is the problem though, it's the essence of a pen that's.
The
no,
penness.
no. The problem is not so much to do with the pen. It's that I attribute a certain nickiness to the parts that make me up, and I hold on to that, and I desperately try to please it, and I get angry when things don't go the way it wishes to be, and that nickiness, which is the same as penness, doesn't exist. The whole notion of me that propels me through life isn't there in the same way that among its parts there is no pen. That's where it counts.
You'd never be insulted if you had that attitude. It would roll right over you.
Yeah, I'm so attached to my Margaretness. It's scary. I think of that so much with guitars, like, it's probably similar with cameras, but I feel like guitars themselves become these artifacts that are
Okay.
so incredibly
Yeah.
precious.
No, it could be any other. Yeah.
And even when you're not precious with them, it's even more precious because you're not precious with them, because they've got scuffs on them and they've had this life about them. And then everyone kind of codifies this life that they've had, and they get really attached to the fact that it had a life, and it's like, and it makes beautiful things, but it doesn't make beautiful things unless you play it. But it almost feels like these guitars they have something that they can give, but you have to play it to give it. But when it's sitting there in a case, you kind of think about it. You're like, it still has it even when I'm not playing.
The price goes up according to the attachment to
I
the.
haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm
So
excited.
we have that attitude towards,
Oh.
And it's all.
a rosary, a watch, my favorite pen, whatever.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Used to shoes, used to wear not into shoes anymore. Used to have those bass loafers.
no, I'm into shoes. There's a shoeness that I
Still have a shoe.
seek, of course,
I see.
until I attain a realization of the emptiness of shoe I'm going to have attachment to. Okay, this has been a wonderful discussion, and
Aaron, do we have names?
but I'm gonna just before we stop, I'm gonna say our homework is to remember that our every action, our every deed, word, and thought, no matter how slight or inconsequential it may seem, has an implication not only for ourselves but for all others. Thank you, Your Holiness. Okay, we are reading the Sutra of the Recollection of the Noble Three Jewels. I prostrate to the Omniscient One. Thus the Buddha, Bhagavat, Tathagata, Arhat, Samyak Sambuddha, the learned and virtuous one, the Sugata, the knower of the world, the
Charioteer and tamer of beings, the unsurpassable one, the teacher of devas and humans is the Buddha Bhagavat. The Tathagata is in accord with all merit. He does not waste the roots of virtue. He is completely ornamented with all patience. He is the basis of the treasures of merit. He is adorned with the minor marks. He blossoms with the flowers of the major marks.
His
His activity is timely and appropriate. Seeing him, he is without disharmony.
He
He brings true joy to those who long with faith.
His knowledge
Cannot be overpowered. His strength cannot be challenged. He is the teacher of all sentient beings. He is the father of bodhisattvas. He is the king of noble ones. He is the guide of those who journey to the city of nirvana. He possesses immeasurable wisdom. He possesses inconceivable confidence. His speech is completely pure. His melody is pleasing. One never has enough of seeing him. His form is incomparable. He is not stained by the realm of desire. He is not stained by the realm of form. He is not affected by the formless realm. He is completely liberated from suffering. He is completely and utterly liberated from the skandhas. He is not possessed with dhatus. Ayatanas are controlled. He has completely cut the knots. He is completely liberated from extreme torment. He is liberated from craving. He has crossed over the river. He is perfected in all wisdoms.
He abides in the
Wisdom of the Buddha Bhagavats who arise in the past, present, and future. He does not abide in nirvana. He abides in the ultimate perfection. He dwells on the bhumi where he sees all sentient beings. All these are the perfect virtues of the greatness of the Buddha Bhagavat. The holy Dharma is good at the beginning, good in the middle, and good at the end. Its meaning is excellent. Its words are excellent. It is uncorrupted. It is completely perfect and completely pure. It completely purifies. The Bhagavan teaches the Dharma well. It brings complete vision. It is free from sickness. It is always timely. It directs one further. Seeing it fulfills one's purpose. It brings discriminating insight for the wise. The Dharma which is taught by the Bhagavat is revealed properly in the Vinaya. It is renunciation. It causes one to arrive at perfect enlightenment. It is without contradiction. It is pithy. It is trustworthy and puts an end to the journey. As for the Sangha of the great Jnana, they enter completely, they enter insightfully, they enter straightforwardly, they enter harmoniously. They are worthy of veneration with joined palms. They are worthy of receiving prostration. They are a field of glorious merit. They are completely capable of receiving all gifts. They are an object of generosity. They are a great object of complete generosity. The protector who possesses great kindness, the omniscient teacher, the basis of oceans of merit and virtue, I prostrate to the Tathagata. You are the cause of freedom from passion, virtuous liberating from the lower realms. This alone is the supreme ultimate truth. I prostrate to the Dharma, which is peace. Having been liberated, they show the path to liberation. They are fully dedicated to the disciplines. They are a holy field of merit and possess virtue. I prostrate to the Sangha. I prostrate to the Buddha, the leader. I prostrate to the Dharma, the protector. I prostrate to the Sangha, the community. I prostrate respectfully and always to these three. The Buddha's virtues are inconceivable. The Dharma's virtues are inconceivable. The Sangha's virtues are inconceivable. Having faith in these inconceivables, therefore the fruitions are inconceivable. They may be born in a completely pure realm.
So let's read the foundation of all excellence.
Not all of them have it. Let me see. Wait a minute, it should have it. Yeah.
The next page after that.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, you're
The
right.
kind Reverend Lama
Is the foundation of all excellence. Seeing that dependence on him is the root of the path, may I rely on him with great respect and continuous effort. A human life with leisure is obtained this once. Understanding that it is very important and hard to find, may I produce unceasingly the mind that takes up its essence day and night. The fluctuation of life is like a bubble of water. Remembering death, for we perish so quickly. After death, the effects of black and white karma pursue us as the shadow follows the body. Finding certainty in this, may I always be careful to do only virtuous deeds and abandon even the slightest non-virtuous actions. The door to all misery is seeking satisfaction and pleasure. Having realized that there is no security in the pernicious perfections of samsara, may I be strongly intent on the bliss of liberation. Pure thought produces the great heedfulness of remembrance and discernment. May I accomplish by this means the essence of the individual vow, which is the root of the doctrine. Having seen that all beings, my kind mothers, have fallen like myself into the ocean of samsara, may I practice pure Bodhi mind, which assumes the obligation to free all living beings. Bodhi mind alone, without cultivation of the three moral practices, does not lead to enlightenment. Having realized this, may I practice with intense effort the Bodhisattva vow. By quieting attraction to objects that are false and analyzing the meaning of reality, may I quickly produce within myself the path that unifies tranquility and insight. When, by this practice, I become a vessel of the general path, may I soon enter the great way of the fortunate ones, the Vajrayana, supreme of yanas. The basis of achieving the two cities is the pure vow one takes on entering this path. Having found real understanding of it, may I keep this vow though it cost my life. Having realized the significance of the two stages, which are the essence of the Vajrayana, by unswerving effort in the 4 sessions of yoga, may I achieve what the Holy Lama has taught. May the spiritual teacher who has shown me the good path, and all my spiritual friends who practice it, have long lives. May I at last completely surmount all inner and outer obstacles. May I in all births enjoy the glorious Dharma, inseparable from the perfect Lama. Having completed the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the highest stage of Vajradhara.
Now the
That's
prayer.
the whole path.
Yes. I don't seem to have.
It's all wacky, some things are better, but others.
Page 12?
Need your help. A prayer for the
Swift return. Exalted wisdom of all victors gathered in a drop. Yet you have withdrawn the activities of the form body that serves the welfare of others. Is that worthy of the supreme among beings, the Bodhisattvas? Though impossible for you till cyclic existence's end, to abandon your commitment to liberate all beings, we beseech the new son of Nirmanakaya to swiftly return from the realm of Dharmakaya, brought forth by Bodhicitta drawn by 7 seeds. Having reached the far limits of scholarship, religious life, and goodness, please come swiftly as an unrivaled supreme emanation, full holder of the sage's teachings, and wish-fulfilling jewel, return as the Gloria Lausanne Tempe. Magnificent truth of the 3 precious jewels, Mahakala, Kamayana, and Sri Mata Devi, and the ocean of Dharma protectors, may you spontaneously fulfill our wish, the swift blossoming of the reincarnation's fresh moonlight face. Thanks, Nikki. Excellent class. You all had a good time.
So next, this coming Saturday, we have White Tara here at 502 North Ridgewood Road in South Orange, New Jersey, 1 o'clock. There's a train from Penn Station that leaves at 11 minutes past 12. It gets you here just in time. And so we look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Very good class. Thanks, everybody. Really had a good time. Now we have to clean up.